That takes us to item G, review and possible approval of a contract, PO 779, between Overton Power District Number 5 and the Colorado River Commission of Nevada to allow CRC to issue new bonds for refinancing of the state of Nevada's share of debt associated with the Hoover Dam Visitor Center and the Hoover Dam Air Slots. Mendish, you have some stuff for us before we...
You bet. We have a few things. First of all, just let me give you a little bit of introduction here. As you've noticed, there's a couple of things that are still in draft form in this document. So the Colorado River Commission is not asking you to sign this document tonight. They're asking you to agree in principle, and then they also want you to determine who you want to sign that contract. I think that when it becomes available, when it's completed, typically the chairman of the board can do that, or you can designate staff to do that. So we'd ask you to include that as part of your motion and approval if you accept this today. This contract was put together by the Colorado River Commission. This is not our contract. It was done with the assistance of special counsel from the Attorney General's office, and that's one of the reasons that we weren't allowed to make this public until we were able to do that last Wednesday, is because the Attorney General's office instructed us to hold that back until they were ready to have that released. And that was in coordination with those of us that had board meetings and the scheduling for this. Now, the schedule that they have identified for this, almost everybody that is involved in this contract had a board meeting last week or is having one this week, and then there are 2 entities that have board meetings next Monday. They're hoping to get approval in principle on this contract from all the parties involved, and then Tuesday the Colorado River Commission will hopefully approve that, and if there's no major changes and no major comments that are received, they're going to go ahead and finalize that contract, and they'll send that back to us to be signed before the month is over. So their schedule is to have that signed before the end of the month so that they can get on the agenda for financing at the Board of Finance in January. And those bonds are issued by the state, and so they have to work through the state and meet their deadlines on that. Now this has been a very delicate situation because of, first of all the parties that are involved in Nevada. You have utilities, you have retail customers that are all involved, so the negotiations have been very delicate, but we've also had to do this in coordination with all the entities that are in California and Arizona, and it needs to be done in step for this to take place. And so I'd just like to point out just a couple of things as we go through this contract, just things that we've discussed in the negotiations as we've gone through this. Becky, if you'll go through this contract and go to page 2, if you would, in here, and that's actually 2.4. 2.4, right? Yeah, stop right here. You want to go too far, go back. Right here. You'll see right here that the current debt is financed at 8% and 9%. And so the goal behind this is to have the states refinance the debt at a lower interest rate. Now, we don't know what that interest rate is going to be. That will be determined at the time the bonds are issued. Right now, the state has hired a bond counsel, and he's working on that, and he has some estimates, but there's nothing that's finalized yet. It won't be until these contracts are signed that he is able to go to work on that.
From your knowledge, Mendes, there's no early payoff penalty or anything for these things that we have to pay in addition to getting the lower interest rate? We have to pay a fee to change?
We do not. They've already talked to the government, and there is no early payoff.
Okay.
So the first letter in Exhibit A, in Exhibit A is the letter from the Bureau of Reclamation that basically states that they're willing to let us refinance that, pay off that debt, and put that under the state's issued bonds. Okay, Becky, if you'll go down to 2.6, please. Right there. You can see that that there's about $80 million in of debt remaining to be paid by Nevada, And so that's the part that we're trying to reduce. Now, Becky, if you will go to 3.18.
Oh, 18.
No, 3.18.
Where's the different version?
Should be. Oh, it's down further, sorry. Go keep looking.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
Okay, it talks in here about Schedule D customers. You get that back to 3.18.
There you are.
Wow. You asked it to stay?
Well, it moved after the,
That mouse continues to, that wheel continues to roll a little bit, so might have to hold your finger on that. Okay.
Okay.
Right here at 3.18, we talk about Schedule D. It's referenced in here. I just wanted to address that for a minute. Right now, there are no Schedule D customers. The existing Hoover contracts expire in 2017. And as part of that renewal process, the government created Schedule D customers. And what's going to happen is they're going to take 5% of the capacity and energy from all of the existing customers, and they're going to make that 5% available for new allottees, and those new allottees will come under Schedule D. And so later in here it references that we are guaranteed to receive 95% of our existing allotment, and that's why. Because that's the way that, and this has gone through Congress, and that's the way that that's been established.
How many additions to that list that shows the existing allocations? Just one only, or many more?
There's 5%, but they're gonna open that up for, and the reason this was opened up was primarily to assist the tribes and other entities to get a piece of the hydropower.
Is that what the Schedule D is going to be?
That's what the Schedule D will be. And the city of Mesquite, the water districts, and other entities have all applied to have, and the tribe, they've all applied to have part of that 5%, or they're going to apply. They haven't started accepting applications yet. They've been in the process for over a year now, but they haven't finalized the process yet, but they're all lined up to do that when they do present that.
So we'll basically lose 5% of our allocation at that time?
Yes, but it could be a net gain for us, because if the city gets an allotment, and the tribe gets an allotment, and the water districts get an allotment, we'll get a bigger piece of the pie, which is gonna benefit all of our customers. So it'll affect those entities directly, but there'll also be a benefit to the rest of the customers.
And when does that take place, at the 2017?
The end of 2017, yeah. Okay, so if you'll go down to 5.1 now, Becky, it's not very far down the road here. Okay. So, in here, it mentions in here that this is firm energy and capacity, and that contract, it says that, that those of us that apply for this, that sign this contract and can agree to pay for this, are gonna be initiated, we're gonna be grandfathered into that process to renew the contracts in 2017, and that contract will run from 2017 to 2067. So by executing this agreement, it gives us the opportunity to be assured that we're gonna get our Hoover power in 2017 when they renew those contracts.
Is there any negotiation that takes place, Dennis, when they do the renewal to allocate different amounts to different entities here, or
Yes,
stay?
yeah, I don't know that there's gonna be any negotiation. The entities will apply, and they still haven't identified the exact process that they're gonna determine who gets what. But I don't know that the public is gonna be that involved. I think it goes to those government entities, and they're gonna assign how that goes out. That's the understanding I have at this point.